Good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Summer Tech Fest 2019. It's your girl Kenita, aka Miss Creative, to those who follow me on Instagram. Getting started with this week's discussion. Gonna give it a few minutes to build an audience. So if you're catching the replay, you might want to fast forward through this part. Wait until people log on. And I'll get started probably in about a minute or two. I want to say thank you to all of those. I know I haven't had many people join the lives, but a lot of people are watching the replays, and I just want to say thank you. I hope the information is very helpful. Please leave me comments on topics you want to hear, improvements. Um, I'm always trying to get better, so if there's things that I could be doing better, let me know. I would be love to hear from you and love to hear your feedback. All right, all right, all right. We're right at the 2 minute mark, so I don't want to make these videos too long. So I don't. If people who are joining, welcome. So tonight's topic for the Summer Tech Fest 2019, week 3, we're talking about where do I start? So this came from a lot of conversations that I had with people this week who are either have businesses or starting businesses and don't have a web presence, or they're thinking about starting a business and don't really know what to do about creating a web presence and what this whole online marketing piece is. And essentially, a website is a piece of your online marketing. It's the anchor. So it's basically your business card. It's where people find out about you. It legitimizes you as a business. Um, if your search engine optimization is done well, it's how people find you when they're Googling stuff. So it's the first thing that comes up, along with your social media and anything else that you do online, which is called your digital footprint. I've talked about that in another one of my videos, the spring glean that I did back in, I believe it was in April, talks about your digital footprint and your online dossier. So check that video out if you get a chance. So basically, some things that, and the thing about it is that most people, know they need a website, but that's all that they know. They don't really know what they need or what their investment is other than paying for the website. And their time commitment in the process and in the project itself. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that and let you know. So a couple of things is that if you're starting a business, it is good to make sure good to already have an online presence. So set up a Facebook business page, not a personal page, but a business page that's for your business. That's a quick way to get all of your information listed in one place. Um, Facebook is already optimized, so if people are looking for something or looking for you on Google, they'll be able to find it. It's a way to post information about your business, share photos and post about things that you're doing, places that you are, using the events that's built in with the tool to be able to list events just like you saw with the Summer Tech Fest. So definitely get on social media. I would say the two primary ones to be involved with are Facebook and Instagram, both owned by the same company. So there's a lot of symmetry between them. Um, and you're able to easily cross post. So if you're more of an Instagram person, you can easily cross post, and you're not on Facebook that often, which is typically the case of people of a certain demographic. If you're always on Instagram, it's very easy to be able to post on Instagram and have those posts easily share out to Facebook. Twitter is the third. Those are the big three as far as social media are concerned, for being able to network with people and reach the most people that aren't just in business. They're used for business as well, but most of your clients are not going to be other businesses unless you're a B2B or business to business operation. Like my business is more business to business, but if you're selling to a consumer, you want to go where the people are, and where the people are going to be is going to be on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter is the third. And again, while it's not owned by the same company, it's very easy to integrate those three together. So if you're on Instagram, it's easy to push your posts out to both platforms. Another thing to note is that when you create these things, when you set up your business accounts, you have an @ name for all three. And it's the @ symbol, which is this A with the circle around it, and the name of however you're being tagged. You want to keep that consistent between all three. I know I don't personally, because I started my online entities long before I started a business, so they're not consistent, and I had a large enough following that I didn't want to change it. But if you're starting out from scratch, make sure all three are consistent. It just makes it easy for people to be able to find you if they have one name to look for versus three different ones. And also put some thought into it. Where's what you want your website to be? Because if your website is similar to what you have as your handles for your social media, it just makes everything symmetric. So while you're building your online audience, people are finding out about you. You can see you're getting some followings. Then you want to consider a website, and also what stage you are in your business. If you're at a point where you're getting some growth, you want to see people are coming online to look for your stuff. You're getting a lot of hits in your inbox and DMs from people. That's when you want to consider, a website, and you're selling products in mass. Like if you're selling products through your DM and it's enough that you really rather be able to automate that, a website is definitely something that you want to consider. Also, when you want to take your business legitimate, where it's not just a side hustle anymore, you are making a name for yourself. You want to brand yourself. Having a website is where you want to go. So that's the piece that I really want to talk about. Okay, so you have your social media set up, you have your following, you've been selling stuff. Now you need a website. What do you need to have for that website? So when you go to build a website, there's lots of do-it-yourself template-based systems, and some of them are good that you can use to build a site for yourself. But the ones that you build for yourself are very limiting. So it really depends on what your budget is and what you're trying to spend and what you want to do. One of the best ones out there that I've seen is Squarespace. The templates are a lot more modern, but again, very limiting. But you can work with an agency who can build sites within those products for you. So Squarespace, Weebly, Wix is another one. While they're all very user friendly for the novice to use, they are very limiting on what they can do as far as what you're going to get, and you're going to get a lot of websites that look just like somebody else's websites. But again, if you're not in the budget, if your budget isn't where where you can get a more custom website, that might be where you need to go. But if you want something a little more custom, you want something to wow your visitors and to be able to grow with you, that's when you want to hire an agency like mine to be able to build something a little more custom for you. Some of the things that you need to think about when you go to create your website. So you'll need to have a logo. So a logo is visual representation of your brand. Your brand is what people say about you and your company. Your logo is the visual representation of that. I would recommend again, just like with Wix, there are places where you can get low cost logos created. Places like Fiverr, places like there's online campaigns that you can do, and people who do logos for the cheap. And that's probably good starting out. But once you get to a place where you want to grow as a business, you want to consider whether or not your logo can be copywritten, whether or not it's using stock art that belongs to you or clip art that belongs to you. So I would spend the money and make the investment, work with a designer and get something custom for you. It'll be if you're serious about your business, it's something that you'll always take with you. So get a good real designer who can work with you with your brand strategy to develop a logo for you. A good logo is going to cost you between $300 or $400, and can be as much as, I don't know, I've seen as much as a brand strategy package costs as much as $1,200. So it really just depends on who you're working with, what you're looking for, and that kind of thing. So that will be your first investment. The next thing you have to think about is your domain. So what your domain is when you type into the web browser what the website that you're going to, the www dot whatever your site is. That doesn't come with a website build. That's something that you purchase. Now, some agencies will handle that for you, but it's best that you own that domain yourself, or you purchase that domain yourself. And that's another thing to note, is that you don't own it. It's more like you rent it. It's something that you pay for on an annual basis or biannually basis, or every 3 years. You never own a domain, you just rent it. You can use GoDaddy.com probably is a place that I usually buy domains for my clients, just because their domains are usually 99 cents or inexpensive, as long as it's available, and it's really easy to use interface. But I don't use them for hosting, but that's a whole nother story. So the next thing that you will need, you'll have your logo, you know what your domain is. You will also need hosting. So what the hosting is the physical location of where your site will live. Again, working with an agency, they will handle that for you, and they will find out what your needs are as far as email is concerned, what you're going to be doing with the site. Those are questions that your design agency will be asking you to find out what you need as far as hosting. And that is basically where your website will live. So that's all the technical stuff that you think about. Write those things down, because those are things that you'll want to ask. Other things that most people don't think about is content for your website. I can't tell you how many times people have said, yes, I want you to build me a website. Here's my money. All right, I'll see you in 4 weeks. And that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So there is a commitment that you have in order to, unless you're hiring someone to write your web content for you, which my agency also does offer copywriting. It is also something that can be offered. You need to think about what information do you want to give to your customers, and who's going to write that content. Your about statement, your blurb about contact us, any images that you have that you want to be on the site. Do you have images of places that you've been that are actually of you doing the work, or would you prefer to buy stock photo? Stock photo is something that costs, so that's something that you need to consider. There's places like Pixabay that you can download royalty-free images from, but stock images is also something that you want to think about. So that's so the main things are getting your social media up and running, making sure that all your names are consistent, your domain name that is consistent and easy to read. I should also say it should be short enough. You don't want something long like I got the best product in the city because I'm dope.com, because nobody's going to type that in. Be concise about your business name and your social media name, your hosting, and your content for the site. Now from that's the basics of getting started for getting a website build. There's a lot more that goes into it, like um, things that I've talked about, like search engine optimization. So not only building the website, because once the website is built and live, that's basically your online business card or your online flyer. Until you have keywords and search engine optimization done on the website, nobody will be able to find you. So it really isn't a good marketing tool until that piece is in place. Again, that is an upcharge, an add-on. It's for most agencies, that's not something that they do for free. And depending on what package you get with your agency, that's something that you would consider. There is, because I am a stickler for technology, there are certain pieces of search engine optimization that I include with all of my packages, including the lowest package, which is the New Beginnings, for new businesses who want to get online. So I saw a few people join. Thank you guys for joining. Do we have any questions or anything, or any topics anybody wants to know? I see Aisha. I see my auntie join. Thank you, Auntie. My cousin, Tori, and my niecey. Hey, Kiera. Thank you guys for joining and supporting. I appreciate you. No questions? All right. Well, if there are no questions, I really don't have anything else to cover as far as information. I just wanted to give you the basics. One thing that I will say is that Creative is a digital agency. We're a digital marketing agency taking care of all things web, and we endeavor to create for you not just a website but a web presence. So those are all the things that we talked about today, in addition to more things Creative offers. And if you are a new business or a young business who's looking to create or improve your web presence, definitely hit us up. We have a package for $8.99 for new businesses starting out for just the basic website, and that includes a simple template, small website, contact form for people to be able to contact you, and some basic SEO to make sure that people can find you online. Hit us up online. The web address is getcreative, KRE-ATIVE.com. That's GETKRE-ATIVE.com. And shoot us a message, and we'll be happy to talk to you. All right. Have a great night. Thanks, everybody. Peace.